very enthusiastic there. Hello.
Early.
Thanks for joining. Yeah, this is pre-coffee. Look at these rock stars. All right, let's get. All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? Now, yesterday I know the connection wasn't fantastic. I'm hoping it's okay today. We'll see. Awesome. All right. So right now we're not seeing a lot of hearts or comments. That means the connection's pretty rough. Are you periscoping a periscope right now? Oh. I don't care.
I was about to.
Awesome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We can't hear you. Yeah, the connection I don't think is great. It's Jason from Ohio. Good morning. Who is that? I can't read your name. Yeah, man. Vegas, what are you doing to me?
Taking your money and you can't periscope about it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to come back to that one. Let me see. So we got a question. All right. So we're going to deal with connection issues, so it might have to catch the replay, unfortunately. But anyway, if you're hearing this, feel free to swipe left or swipe up and down and share. Get some people on here. We'll be answering some questions and having a good time. And yeah, oof, connection, rough. Hey, someone heard me. Yeah, feel free to share. So you can share, swipe left or up and down, whatever phone you're on, and we'll get some cool people on here. All right. Okay, so I am, first of all, who's the person, this is going to be difficult, person that asked me the question, what does it mean to be punished or rewarded before you join MLM? Make sure you send me an email. You can Facebook message me or send me an email, and I want to send you out our Home Business Fast Start CD as a free gift since I'm picking your question. So I originally heard this from Eric Worre, and Eric Worre says that when you start network marketing, you're either punished or rewarded for the life that you led before network marketing. What does that mean? Well, there's different degrees of that, and and we all know these people. We all know who are the people in your community that are respected, looked up to. You see them somewhere, you want to say hello to them. They have integrity, they keep their word, they do things, maybe they do things for the community, maybe they are just great at what they do. Those are the type of people that are typically rewarded when they join network marketing. The people that are usually punished are the ones that do all the opposite. Okay, they're the ones that they tell you they're going to come to your birthday party, they don't show, don't call. They tell you they're going to help you move, they don't show up. They call you when they need something. You go to lunch with them, they never pick up the tab. They always seem to be fumbling for their wallet. Things of that nature. These are people that they don't tend to add value to the people around them. They are really more, just maybe even as there's different degrees. There's extreme degrees of people that lack integrity, that are all about themselves, and then there's smaller degrees of maybe it's someone that just isn't seen as a business person or a professional. Maybe it's someone that really hasn't ever applied themselves. See, you'll still be punished to a small degree for that kind of behavior, not as high as someone that just lacks integrity and doesn't have any of that stuff. And so the reason you need to understand this, there are two things that you need to understand about this is, number one, there's hope. If you are someone that your whole life you haven't shown integrity, you haven't shown up when you said you would, you haven't done the things that would make you a valuable friend or partner or neighbor or whatever, there's always hope. You can change. And I'll tell you, the way that you do that is by being vulnerable. And when you go and you approach people that know you, they're probably not going to be that excited to talk to you, but you can be vulnerable and say, hey, listen, I have something that I'd like to share with you, but first let me tell you that this profession has changed my life. It's opened my eyes to being a better person. It's opened my eyes to being more valuable to my connections, to improving myself. And that's one of the things that I really love about this profession that you might like too, you may not, I don't know, right? But it's by being vulnerable. Most people that haven't led a life of integrity or value, they try to bulldoze through the past. They want you to forget all about the past and let me just bulldoze you into wanting to join my business because it's all about me. And that's something that you can't do. The second thing, so number one, you need to understand there's hope. If you have not been, someone of value, someone of integrity, you can change it and be vulnerable. Number two, you need to understand what we just said here in that a lot of times you draw false conclusions. And I remember I've shared this story quite a few times, but it just stands out. I was at a company event and this guy got up on stage, a great trainer, so I'm not putting him down, but a great trainer. He got up there and he said, guys, when I joined, I signed up my first 60 people. I was 60 for 60. And here's exactly what I said. And so people are frantically, they're writing like, oh my God, it's magical, NLP, hypnosis script, right? Baloney. That script didn't matter at all. It was who he was before he joined that had them join. And see, if you don't understand that, you think something's wrong with you. You think, well, I said the script, right? The script. He could have said, hey, you want to go on auto ship for bananas? Hey, man, if you're doing it, I'm in, right? That's what would have happened. So the script didn't matter. It's who he was that mattered. And so when you see people breaking records, let me tell you, 99.999% of the time, they broke records because of all the work, integrity, and value they did before they joined. It's not, because you're going to study their routine. You're going to say, oh my God, man, they broke the record. What did they do? Oh, okay, you talked to 20 people a day. Oh my God, all right, me too. Well, results may vary because your life varies from their life before you joined. Was that powerful? Was that helpful? Was that good?
Yeah.
All right. Got a live audience. Both directions here. Yeah. Heart. Yeah. Hey, you guys should be watching in Harvey. No. I'm just kidding. No.
Man, Ray brought me up to his room and made me hoard the whole time.
But great question. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So hit me with some more questions. I know that we're having connection issues sometimes. What do I do? I'm missing some of these. Okay. All right. I'm going to tackle this one. So the person that asked this question, send me a message, send me an email, and we will help you out. This is this is going to be tough for some people. I'm just going to give you a heads up. This is going to be tough. How do you get your family to support your efforts? And this is something that a lot of people, a couple things here. Number one, most people feel like you must have that. Because I'll get people probably every week, seriously, every week someone will email me and they'll say, hey, I heard your story. It's so great that you had a supportive family. Now, what does that mean? What that means is they're drawing the conclusion that to create success, you must have a supportive family. I don't have a supportive family. That's why I'm not successful. Okay? It's baloney. Okay? Do we prefer a supportive family? Of course. No question. I'm not, playing light on that. Do you require a supportive family? You do not. But you have to have some integrity with what you're doing. Here's what I've seen more times than not. Now, I'm not saying this is all the time. I'm not saying every person that doesn't have supportive family, this is the deal. But this is what I've seen lots of times. Person joins a business, joins a network marketing business, and they're fired up. And they tell their spouse, "Oh my God, it's going to be awesome. We're going to rock this thing. Boom, man, we're going to make it happen." And they're like, "Oh, okay, great." They're kind of strange because maybe it's the first time you've ever expressed entrepreneurial behaviors or energy or anything like that. And so they might be a little weirded out, but a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And so you start going to meetings. You start buying tools. You get on AutoShip. You start traveling to the events. You start, instead of seeing, little Timmy's baseball game, you go to the event because that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You got to do these things to be successful in network marketing. So what the family is seeing is they're seeing you on your computer all the time. They're seeing you, away from the family nonstop. What they don't see is any results. They don't see money coming in. They don't see anything to celebrate. They only see an absence of you. And the problem here is a lot of people are busy but not productive. Very different. You can go to all the meetings on the planet. You can attend, you can win a ribbon for best attendee of all events on planet Earth, but if you're not prospecting, you're not going to make money. If you're not getting eyeballs on your presentation, you are not going to get money. You don't just go to event after event after event. You don't just buy tool after tool after tool. You don't just buy courses, not go through them, or go through them, not prospect, and make money. You have to be getting eyeballs on the presentation, period. But what most people do is they are getting ready, right? They're sharpening the axe, but they're not prospecting anybody. They're not getting any eyeballs on the presentation. And they think that their family is an endless well that they can dip into. And so months down the road, wife or husband or whatever, family is like, what's up? You've been doing this thing for a long time. You've cost us thousands of dollars. We barely see you. You're on your computer. You're never present with the family at dinner table. What's up? What's going on? Hey, you got to be supportive of me. So you need to understand that the best way for you to get the support is to stop running your mouth and start generating some results. And I know that that's tough because you think that I must have family support before I generate results, and I'm here to tell you that's not the case. And let me tell you something else that I've seen over the years, which is a really, really cool, it's a really neat thing to observe. I've seen people that didn't have the most supportive of spouse, but they finally get some results. Finally, they get some results. So I've been on, I don't know how many, maybe a dozen different paid vacations that we've won through network marketing. And it's awesome because on day one of the incentive trip, right, that people win, on day one, you'll always know the non-supportive spouse. So the non-supportive spouse will be there and, they'll be like this and you'll say, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm not in. No, he's in. No. Thank you, though. How are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. We're all good. We're good. Thank you. But yeah, he's in. He's in. Not me. Yeah. So day one, they come there, super skeptic, super cynic, not happy, grumpy face, not talking with anybody. And what they realize throughout the incentive trip is they're like, man, this is kind of cool. This is kind of neat that, this is all paid for and stuff. This is kind of neat. So, day two, you'll see that same spouse and you'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" She's like, Hey, how's it going? Yeah, good. Yeah, this is fun. This is actually, a lot of fun. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Day three, they're like, yeah. And they're going to their spouse and saying, "You better win the next one." That's how you get family support, is by showing results, showing that it's worth it for them to be supportive of you. It is extremely selfish for you to treat your family like an endless well of support. You gotta support me because if you're not being of integrity, if you're not doing the work, if you're not getting eyeballs on the presentation, they shouldn't be an endless well of support. Seriously. Someone needs to kick your ass so that you start doing the things that will create results. Because if you don't, then why should they keep supporting you? Now, another thing is having a frank conversation. Let me tell you one of the toughest conversations I've ever had in my life. And that is, in 2009, I was dead broke, personal foreclosure, bill collectors calling me nonstop. My girlfriend, who's now fortunately my wife, my girlfriend was working at the Nordstrom makeup counter, paying my utility bills because I was broke. And when I went to a home meeting and got introduced to a network marketing company that I ended up joining, I decided that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick of not producing, not being of value. I felt like a loser, and I was sick of it. And so I went to Jess, my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. I went to her and I said, listen, I joined this company. I'm going to run with this thing hard. I just want to give you a heads up. It's going to be hell the next 2 years. Because that's kind of in my head. That's kind of what I thought. I figured, you know what? I haven't had success at network marketing before. It's probably going to take me 2 years to make any kind of dent. And so I said, I just want to give you a heads up. The next 2 years are going to be hell. We're not going to be doing, really anything. I'm going to be on my phone, non-freaking stop. You've never seen me in this kind of mode before, but I've done it before, but you've never been around when I've been in this kind of mode. And I'm just going to tell you, I need my space. I need my time. It is extremely important to my soul that I become a producer again, and I get out of this stuff that I'm in and the state that I'm in. I'm sick of it, and it's not going to be fun. I mean, I'm going to be hardcore on the phone. I'm going to be tearing it up. I'm going to be doing meetings. I'm not going to be home a lot, and if I am home, I'm going to be on the phone. And when I'm in the zone, I can be a real jerk. And so I understand if this isn't what you signed up for. I understand if you want to go. And part of me, I really hope she didn't go, right? But I'm someone that somewhere in my life I learned the art of managing expectations, and it's an extremely important art to master. And it's something that before I even enroll somebody, I find out, what are your expectations? What do you expect of me? What do you expect of this company? And I do the same thing with people. Recently I was asked to speak at a different event in Vegas. Actually, next week I'm back in Vegas. And I said, okay, what are the expectations? Before I accept almost anything, I'm like, what are the expectations? If someone asks me for an interview, what are the expectations? And I want to know the expectations for myself, but I also want to relay expectations. So, it would be very selfish, in my opinion, for me, if I just all of a sudden went after it. And I'm just all of a sudden, I don't have that talk with my wife, with my girlfriend at the time, Jess. And I just start hammering the phone. She's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm on the phone, right? If I didn't set that expectation, then that would be very selfish of me. And some of you aren't setting the expectation because some of you, maybe you are doing the work. Maybe you are not just in your library comfy or in the event comfortable and fired up but not doing anything. Maybe you are prospecting. Maybe you are getting eyeballs on the presentation, but you haven't had that talk with your spouse, with your significant other. And so that's something that, now here's the cool part. And here's what happens when you really get after it. And, it's you really make that decision. Decide. It comes, it means the cutting off of all other options. Genocide, suicide. It's the cutting off of all other options. That's what decide means. I decided I was going to make this damn thing happen no matter what. I didn't care what was going to happen. I was willing to pay any price. It was going to happen. That's a decision. A decision is not, I'm going to see how it works out. I'm going to test this thing out. I'm going to see, I hope it works. That's not decision, okay? Decide, cutting off of all other options. I was going to make this damn thing happen no matter what. What was cool is 5 months in, I was at 10,000 a month. 7 months in, I was at 40,000 a month. 10 months in, I was at 50,000 a month. And let's just say we had a pretty good time pretty quickly. And so it wasn't nearly the hell on earth that I painted for her, but I would rather paint hell on earth and have it not be than have hell on earth surprise anybody. That's a big, big lesson that you can take away. So if you want more support from your family, produce. Produce. How do you produce? Get eyeballs on the presentation. Yesterday I did a blog post that was sharing notes from the Eric Worre event, and Eric asked the question, and I related on my blog. He said, if you were an employer, how much would you pay you for the activity you've done in your network marketing business for the last 30 days? And if you, when I ask you that question, if you're like, oh man, 50 cents, right? I mean, if you're like, not much, then what are you doing? You are your own boss. You are employed by you. Would you hire you? And if the answer is no, then what are you doing? Make a decision. And the decision could be, you know what? I'm just going to be honest with myself and I'm just going to be a customer. I'm just going to enjoy the events. That's actually better. It's actually better than saying, I'm going to be a top earner and being incongruent with that energy. Don't be incongruent with your energy. Be very congruent. Don't say, and I've shared this on stage a couple times, don't say you're going to quit smoking if you're not. Okay? Smoke the hell out of it. Just blow it in people's faces. Be happy with it. The incongruency with energy is what I think kills people. I think it's what stresses people out. When you say you're going to do something, but you consistently don't do it, just don't say you're going to do something. Just don't say you're going to be a top earner if you're not willing to put in the effort, if you're not getting eyeballs on the presentation. Stop lying to yourself. I think that lying to yourself is what really attacks your self-worthiness. That's the problem. Is you create a self-worthy issue if you're saying I'm going to do something but you don't do it. And so just don't say you're going to do things if you're not actually going to do it. Okay? Work in silence, or if you say you're going to do something, do it. And that really, really counts when it comes to family support. Oh, was that cool? Was that a good one? I will tell you. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Some people are like, connection. I know. You might have to catch the replay if you can't. How do you give hearts? Great question. You just double tap. I think you have to tap like 100 times. Is that how it works? Yeah, you have to tap, till like you're sore. You got to be all in. Yeah, just tapping the screen gives hearts. Okay, I did promise that we would do a little promotion as we've done the last 2 or 3 weeks. So we do have a really, really special promotion, but let me give you some background, all right? So a book that changed my life and the life of so many, you guys have heard this over and over and over at the event, but a book that changed my life is Think and Grow Rich. And I don't actually recall what year I read that, but I've since read it multiple times. And Bob Proctor referenced it. One of my clients, Kathleen Dagelman, referenced it. That was on stage. Several other people referenced Think and Grow Rich, right? And I got a lot of value out of Think and Grow Rich. But what I wanted to do, this was back in 2000 and I think either 10 or 11. It was I wanted to translate it to current day scenarios. And so I did this course, this audio course called Vibrational Money Immersion, Think and Grow Rich for Network Marketers, where I went through the public domain version of Think and Grow Rich, which I forget the year on that, but it's like pre-1950, whenever it was. And I went through the public domain version of Think and Grow Rich, and I pulled out the what were important snippets that impacted my life, and I mixed in my own stories. And I mixed in stories of network marketing, and we created this little, not little, but 17-week course where every week we broke down the lessons, I shared different stories, and we put it out there, and it was wild, the number of testimonials that we got. We got so many people saying, holy cow, that changed my life. And there's a lot of people that still to this day come up to me, 4 or 5 years later, and they're like, VMI changed my life. And so what we did is we took that and we edited it, transcribed it, and we put it into an ebook that we've been selling here and there over the years. But what we're doing now is we're actually going to take that, and it's going to be my very first physical book. We've never done a physical book. I've kind of shied away from it because I wanted it to be very, very special. And so that's coming out. It'll be out. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be out, but it'll be out in the next, within the next 3 to 6 months is my guess. 3 to 6 months. So what we're doing is in foresight of that, we want to generate more testimonials. We have tons of testimonials, amazing testimonials we're going to be sharing in the book. Eric Worre, Robert Hollis, Lisa Grossman, Diane Hockman, just tons and tons of people have given us great testimonials. And I wanted to do a deep discount like I've never done before on the actual audio course, which is, it's really, of all the products I've created, let me think about this. On mindset, it is my favorite. It is my favorite course that I've ever created on mindset by far. And it's just awesome. It's a really good course. So what we're doing is kind of what we did last week. We're doing 75% off. If you'd like the VMI for the next 24 hours, 75% off. And then we're going to get to some more questions here. The 75% off VMI sells every single day on our website for $197. You can now get it for $49.25. So that's a pretty good deal, I think. 17 weeks